8:32 the time, about 28 minutes away from the hour of 9 o'clock. I remember that first day at WSUN very, very well. It should have really been a tip-off as to what was going to happen. You see, when you start a new job in this business and you're in my end of the business, there's always this incredible honeymoon. They love you, you love them, everybody hugs everybody else. Life is just going to be grand, and we all know that it's going to end in a bitter, bitter, bitter dispute one way or the other, and that somebody's going to be very unhappy when it's over. But that first day, that first week, that first month, it's always just a beautiful, beautiful situation. Peace, love, and so forth and so on. But there was a very, very bad sign that very first day. It's not like I was replacing anyone. It's not like it was when I came into town and poor old Harry Cuff, I think it was his name, or Cup or something like that, was doing his last show, reading the magazine poll. And I was out there listening. The bad sign was they didn't tell anybody at the station I was coming. And they had me show up at like 9:30, and I was immediately whisked into the general manager's office, and the door was immediately shut, where I was to be held until 10 o'clock when the official press release would be handed out to the press as well as the people that worked there. And I would be walked down the hall ceremoniously into the studio where Neil Rogers was going to do his show. It would normally have been done in Miami, but he was up here for this very, very special occasion, for this very big announcement. The reason I'm telling you all of this is because I am a human being. And everybody that works in this business is a human being. Now, I also happen to be on the air, and so therefore I have a persona. And I'm not here to make you love me. My name is not Jack Harris. I don't care if you like me or not. I'm not trying to sell you my jams and jellies or get you to watch my television show. I'm just here to get you to listen to my radio show. And I don't care if you like me. I have one thing going for me that almost no one else in this business has for them, and that is the balls to be honest with you about myself. You know more about me than you probably know about your spouse, unless you happen to have a better-than-average marriage. You know about my shortcomings, you know about my flaws, you know about my blemishes, you know about my fears, you know about my failures, you know about my triumphs. Because I'm able to tell you. I don't do so because I'm a nice man or a decent man. I do so because it works for me. And there are also an awful lot of things about me that you don't know. But one of the things that I have been able to pull off in this business is a relationship with an audience, unlike most any of my colleagues. That's why they brought me back to WSUN. Because in this town, I am talk radio. Well, that's not very humble. And I don't give a crap. I happen to be very proud of it. I changed talk radio in this town. It's the only thing I've ever accomplished in my entire life. But I'm proud of it. And so they brought me back. And things were going to be great. But like I said, there was that little sign that first day. All those other people that worked at that radio station, all loyal, devoted employees, weren't considered trustworthy enough to know 1 minute before. But they were bringing me back. Well, never mind. Then there was something else that I noticed. It was a facility not quite as nice as WGBS. The artwork wasn't as expensive, but it was a very, very nice facility. And it was owned by two of the wealthiest women on the face of this planet. And they were paying me a hell of a lot of money. They were paying a couple of other people in that building a hell of a lot of money. And then it dawned on me that almost all of the off-air programming people were part-timers. They all worked less than 30 hours a week so that they wouldn't have to be paid regular wages, so that they wouldn't have to be part of the profit-sharing program, so that they wouldn't have to be on the insurance program, so that they wouldn't have to cost as much. Decent young people with stars in their eyes. Not terribly unlike the kids I started with at WPLP. None of them had health insurance. None of them had anything. There wasn't any place to go. This big company owned by these filthy rich women wouldn't pay these people a living wage. Wouldn't share in the profits with them. Wouldn't even allow them to buy into the life insurance program. Nothing. Oh, well. And then they kept cutting back, and cutting back, and cutting back. And a board operator would get up to $7 an hour, and pretty soon he was replaced with a $5 an hour board operator. Constant turnover. Oh, well. Life's a bitch, isn't it? Yeah, it sure is. But hey, what the hell, we were having a good time. Yes, indeed. And I was, I made some headway. Didn't destroy FLA. But they knew I was here. Put a dent in that Crown Jewel morning show. Never beat them. Never came close to beating them. But you could add up my numbers, and they fit exactly in the numbers that they had lost. I knew it. They knew it. It was fun. Yes, yes, yes. That's what it's all about, baby. This is broadcasting. This is radio. This is dog eat dog. But I kept seeing things I didn't like. Cruel things. Absolutely incredibly cruel things. They decided to blow out their traffic department and replace it with Metro or somebody. I don't even know who it was. Doesn't make any difference. So they blew them all out. Ha, ha, ha. No notice, no nothing. You pigs are out in the street. Die, dogs. I don't care about your mortgage. I don't care about your car payment. I don't care about nothing. We're cutting, baby. The sisters need a new trip to Paris. Ha, ha, ha. And then I'm not really sure of the details, but for some reason there was some kind of a mix-up, a mess-up, and do you know they had the balls to ask one of those people to come back and do traffic? He told them to go screw themselves. They thought that he was ungrateful. Things just kept happening and happening and happening. I want to make a long story short. Just about a year ago, same thing happened at WLS. I sat down and I looked at the station. I went in one day and picked up the log in the control room and I looked it over and it just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any economic sense. And I had a contract window coming up in December, right before Christmas. And so I went to these people and I said, look, I'm a big boy, been around a long time. I can count spots and multiply them by the spot rate, and I know what I cost, and I know what some other things cost, and it doesn't make any economic sense. And I'm very happy here, and I was. And I'd like to continue here, but if it's not to be, it's not to be, no problem. But at my stage in this game, it takes a long, long time to get a gig. I said, if you guys will remember, it was 5 months between the first phone call from Bob Neal and the last phone call from Todd Leeser saying, okay, it's a done deal. You start February the 1st. And they said, yeah, it did take 5 months. That's right. And I said, so look, if you're not going to renew my contract, no problem, no hard feelings, at least allow me to talk to other people. Oh, we'll get back to you on that. It was just about a year ago. About a week before my 50th birthday. About a week after my 25th anniversary in this business. A week went by, 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by. And So I came back, and again I said, remember I asked a question?